Hey everybody, I'm Tommy Scoville, and you're on the lifeboat. Sorry, left the door open. So let's see here. A couple of things. If you saw the thumbnail, that huge pile of pills that you saw sitting on top of a car turns out to be just under 500,000 tabs of counterfeit Percocet 30s, which finally made the news. That picture is not taken from CNN or taken from anybody else. That picture was taken from the Toyota Prius that I was driving at the time. Johnny and I had gone on a road trip a few days back. We had to go see somebody about a watch, and we didn't go into Mexico. That border, what you're looking at, is actually on the U.S. side of the border, but you have to. Sorry, people sitting on my phone. But you have to drive by that checkpoint in order to get back into the the regular flow of traffic. It's just a immigration checkpoint that they have. I don't know how far it is from the border, 30 miles, 40 miles, something like that. They have them usually near all major border crossings. But as we were driving through, I said to Johnny, "Boy, get a look at the hood of that car over there." And the border patrol was standing around like guys that had just finished hunting. If you've ever been on a hunting trip, it looked like guys posing next to an animal they had just shot. There was a ton of pills. What was frightening to me about that bust is that all of those pills were blue. There was a big push going on there for a while, and they were calling it Rainbow, the Rainbow Fent. That's a much safer version, truthfully, on the street, because most people who thank you, Toro. Most people who abuse perks, if they come across one that's a color that doesn't match, are going to be a little bit nervous. The vast majority of Percocet 30s in the real world are blue. So this was a large bust of drugs that I would imagine by now are on the street. I'm trying, Jeanette. I'm trying. I'm getting there. Hey, from Tommy Stiggs' channel. I love Stiggs. Tommy's a really good guy, and he was pulling for me while I was struggling. I like Tommy a lot. He's good people, man. He really is. He's good people. Solid paisan from Jersey, New York, New Jersey, where he lives in Jersey. Good dude. Oh, the Bull Hurley stash. Yeah, I changed up the drill. A little bit on the facial hair. So decided I was going to change that up a little bit as part of my my metamorphosis. People, I'm working with a new counseling group, which is a good solid thing. It's a close friend of mine set this up. I'm not good at this, people. This is not something that I'm super that I have a lot of strength in this department of taking care of myself. The mustache works. All right, good, because it's going to stick around for a while, I think. But my friend took the time to research all this for me and get me set up with the doctors that I needed to see, sort of one after another. And the first one that I went set up the appointment for the second one, who set up the appointment for the third one, and then I had my my episode, which got me in to be seen a little quicker. And now I'm working with a pretty good team. I think I'm in. I think I'm probably in good hands. I think that I'm at least working in the right direction. And pink shirt, mustache. Hey. This shirt happens to not be pink. So, another announcement. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these things. This is 6 Hot Balls. This is a product of Blazing Food. And, of course, my brother Johnny Scoville. This is the Johnny Scoville 6 Hot Balls Challenge. Pretty gnarly. However, not as gnarly as this. This right here would be the Tube of Terror. If you're unfamiliar with the Tube of Terror, I own the world record on the fastest Tube of Terror ever done. Sadly, I did it on a show that the person who owns the show, I believe, deleted it. He no longer has the footage up. There are witnesses. There are a ton of people that saw it. However, I'm going to try to do it again. I don't know that I will get anywhere near the record that I did. I don't know that I'll be able to get under a minute. We're sure as hell going to give it a try. But we're gonna do this, and I believe we're gonna do it tomorrow. I am going to be competing against my brother. I cannot compete against my brother. My brother can take heat better than I can. My brother's tolerance is better than I can. His endurance is better than I can. In every single way that you can judge someone as a chili head, my brother is 5 times better than I am. With the exception of how fast Johnny Scoville can eat hot things. He struggles with speed. I do not. It is the only thing that I do well. So tomorrow there is going to be a epic Scoville on Scoville challenge to neck a tube of terror as fast as possible. There's got to be some handicap. Maybe we'll force him to eat more than one. I don't know. Maybe I'll make him do that and something else. Those nuts are crazy hot. I have a tube and only ate one. Won't touch the rest. Can't say I blame you, Dave. They really are that hot. I did one in 43 seconds. There are people who say 53. I assure you it was 43. It was 43 seconds. I do not know that that will be something I will be able to do again. But we're sure as hell going to give it a try. The sad thing is it also caused the worst cap cramps of my life. On the bright side, I know it's coming this time. Last time I was unaware of what was going to happen to me. Johnny may beat you at everything, but is he sponge worthy? That is an excellent question right there. And one that I cannot answer, I'm afraid. If that was a bust, why are the drugs on the street now? They are not, Gary. If I said that improperly, or what you're looking at right there was the ranger station. So the bust took place about 3 or 4 days ago, and it just hit the newspaper that they announced that seizure was 400,000 tabs. They are not on the street. They are, and I'm sorry if I did a bad job of that. I'm not always the world's best communicator, and to be honest, I'm not firing on 1,000 cylinders right now anyway. So I apologize, but they are not on the street. Let's hope. I mean, they are in the care of Customs and Border Patrol. That's where we were passing by. We just happened to be there, and were able to take a picture of that from the Prius as we were driving by. I said to Johnny, "Holy hell! Look at the size of that bust." And it was funny because we were kind of going back and forth, and Johnny goes, "Man, that's got to be 1 million pills right there." And I said, I bet it's less than that, because I had seen busts where they showed pictures of 1 million pills. I guessed 500,000, so I was a little bit closer. Whatever it is, it's 400,000. Let's say, for easy math, 20% of those are deadly. We know that that's not the case. We know that the case is higher. It's probably closer to 60% from what they say. Will have more than 2 milligrams per pill, but let's just say it's 20% for what's in giggles. If a mere 20% of those are deadly, that's 80,000 tabs in there with the potential to kill people. Gary, here's the sad thing. The sad thing is this: if that got across the border, right? We say in this country that on average we get about 20% of what comes across. It could have been me, Gary. I'm not the sharpest tool. But they say we get about 20% of what comes across is what that's Border Patrol says on average, they assume they get about 20%. So, multiply that and start doing the math. The amount of this stuff on the street is just unbelievable. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I have never, ever been in this game where I've seen the price of drugs drop at the exact same time as the quality went up, right? If you're buying blow on the street and it's 60%, blow, and it's $100 a gram, and it goes up to 80% blow, the price is not going to drop to 60 a gram, right? Pretty much basic economics 101, right? Okay. Well, they continue to make this stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And the price continues to get lower and lower and lower. There are places in this country that are $2 for a counterfeit perk 30. $2. They used to be 30. It's not about business. You can call me paranoid. I got all the emails the last time I said this. They're not trying to kill people. No, they accidentally killed 100,000 people last year. And their response was to make the drugs stronger and cheaper. Probably had nothing to do with trying to kill people. I'm an idiot. Conspiracy guy. I got a tinfoil hat. Where's it? I normally keep my tinfoil hat close enough to put on. Good for you, Andrew. Andrew's going to be getting the Hey Kool-Aid Smile Run Wednesday. We're going to need to see some photos of that, my brother. Everybody is going to want to see Kool-Aid Smile, please. V, I'm so sorry to hear that. This happened to Spanx Calhoun the other day. My son had everything that he owned stolen. The landlord that he was staying with had a facility for him to store things in, and my son stored stuff in there. And somebody went in and got everything: laptops, bicycles. Literally took everything he has. It's going to be a very, very difficult rebuild for him, which is so unfortunate. You know, on the bright side, he didn't relapse, he didn't go drink or do anything stupid, and he's been keeping his head in the game. I'm proud as hell of him. Yes, absolutely, we can get prayers for your son, Tammy C. Thoughts and prayers for her son, please. I'm so sorry, Warden. Tell you what, that next one's for you, Warden. I'm really sorry. I hope that the quality of the camera is better. I have made some adjustments, people. If this isn't better, I'm throwing it through the window, and I'm going to start laying concrete, or perhaps going back to making cabinets, or whatever I used to do back before I became a criminal. I don't know. It's been a really long time. I was a cabinet maker at one point, for sure. And believe it or not, I was an actor at one point. Public speaker. Yeah, I don't know that I could go back and do any of those things anymore. But yeah, so that's that. Way better, says Gary Meek. I'm really glad to hear that, because I was at the end of my rope, people. I really was. With everything else happening, when I got this fixed, I got it fixed and I got it set up. And then the next time I did a video, somebody was like, yeah, it's still. And I was like, you know what, man? And it was right at that meltdown time. I'm not going to lie to you. That piece of equipment took a beating. That was another thing that did not go very well as far as things I could have treated better. That would be a great book. Things I Could Have Treated Better by Tommy Scoville. Yep. I would imagine there would be a lot of people's names on there as well. So to those of you who I could have treated better in the last couple of weeks, my apologies to you as well. I will make those apologies one at a time as time permits. But I think at this point, my apologizing to people could make things worse, not better. You know how that rolls, right? Haley said, I'm so happy I found your channel. We need more like this. Thank you. Well, that's a nice thing to say. And normally the ship runs better than it has been. I had a bit of a nervous breakdown a couple of days ago, and I apologize for that, everybody. Hunter Haas, good to see you. Goosebumps says, video is sharp now, Tommy. Excellent. Deaudrey Gore says, great comment too, by the way. Deaudrey Gore says, clearly the supply of drugs is a problem and it's getting worse, but what can be done about the demand? And this is really the question, isn't it? Because you're never going to beat the war on drugs from the supply side, because people will continue to take the risk to get it here because of the payout. My son is 31. So what we have to do is we have to start educating people at a much younger age. And we have to educate people in such a way that doesn't lie to them. If we tell them that by touching drugs, they're going to explode and cause you to die, or if you smoke marijuana, you're going to develop female breasts as a man. The lies that we told kids made them stop trusting us. And Then what happens is someone says, hey, give this a try. It's heroin. And they go, they lied about weed. Right? They lied about that. I know a bunch of guys that smoked it. I didn't see anybody develop a need for a bra. They're probably lying about heroin. They're probably lying about speed. They're probably lying about. My thought is we tell our kids the truth about drugs. Are drugs fun? Hell yes, they're fun. If they weren't fun, people wouldn't do them. They make you feel nice, but they make you feel nice at a price. And explain to your kids, I am a drug addict, right? I mean, it is probably my defining characteristic, as much as bank robbery and all the other nice things that people say about me. The real defining characteristic is that I am a heroin addict first and foremost. And the heroin addiction caused me to do all of the stupid things that I have done in my life. The mother of my children is an alcoholic who was also addicted to heroin. She's been sober, God bless her, for over 20 years. And doing a great job, has raised my daughter completely on her own. I was gone at that point, so she did a great job with my daughter. But my daughter is a genetic time bomb, right? So my son, mom and dad are drug addicts. I mean, heavy duty drug addicts. So we know if they use, the odds that they're going to get addicted are so much higher than it would be for any other kid in the world. But trust and believe that I have had that talk with my kids ad nauseum. And I've had that talk with my kids 1,000 times because we're not going to win the war on drugs, D. We're not going to win the war on drugs. So just try to win the battle. The battle being your kid, your grandkid, your aunt, right? Your uncle, your nephew, your sister, your brother, your mother, your father. The people in your sphere of influence. If you win that war on drugs, who cares? Right? Truthfully. There are organizations on this planet that I hate, plenty of them, right? We talk about them all the time. You may not be able to take down those organizations, but if there are people you can save, if there's somebody that means that much to you, right? Save your child. And if we lose the war on drugs, it's not going to bother you as much. Right? Take care of the people that you love. That's what you can do. Take care of the people that you love. And the really effed up thing is that if everybody on the planet did just that, if everybody said, forget politics and forget all of the this and the that, I'm just going to make sure that my kid doesn't do drugs. If every single person did that, we'd win this war. Sharon, I'm glad that you brought this up. Sharon says, I tried to anyway. Things are moving pretty quick here. Sharon says, I'm of an age to remember the Just Say No campaign of Nancy Reagan. I am too. Just say no. 3 syllables. Sadly, 3 syllables isn't enough, right? We were taught to believe that all you got to do is just say no. If someone says, hey, I'm going to offer this to you, well, this is the most complex thing that is ever going to happen to our kids. It is the largest existential threat of their life. And we broke it down to just say no. Well, if it were just as simple as that, if it was here you go, and you go, no, but it's not that. It's that you live with these kids every single day. And every single day you hear the stories. Hey, what'd you do yesterday after school? Well, me and Eric and so-and-so went together and smoked a joint. We went down by then your kid's got to go, no, and walk away and not be a part of that conversation. Or your kid's going to have to, you understand, it's so much more complex than just saying no. It is becoming so trusted by your child that your child thinks that they can say to you, Dad, guess what? Tommy Scoville's getting high. I'm sure of it. You can see it. You can see it in his eyes. He smells like pot all the time. And your kid knows he can say that without you saying, if I ever see you talking to Tommy Scoville again, I'm grounding you for the rest of your life. Open lines of communication between you and your kids, or between you and your nieces and nephews and grandkids, or whatever, or you and the person we're talking about. If they can talk to you and they trust you and you're not going to crap on them for being honest, opening up those lines of communication. Because I remember just saying no to, and it didn't work for me, right? It didn't work for me. That's not how it went down. And I wish that had been the case, but it wasn't. Right? So I ended up, I ended up using, and once I did, It spiraled and it got out of control. There was nobody there at the time. There were people there at the time that loved me, but they had no idea what to look for. If you're going to be trying to raise a child in a drug-free world and raise a child to give them the best chance of not being an addict, then you better have a really good handle on what to look for. My parents loved me. They just didn't have a clue. I could walk in tripping on acid and they didn't know what to look for. My pupils would have been that big. They just didn't know the difference. Or I would come in on opiates. My pupils would be pinpricks and they would have no idea. Or I would nod out and they would, make excuses. Well, Tommy trains really hard. He's working a lot and the skiing and if they knew what to look for, there'd probably be somebody else hosting this right now. Right? Sorry. The Gray Zone with Vanessa. Great to see you. I'm not sure where Squirrel is currently. Vanessa, she's around though. She's somewhere, but I'm hoping she's going to make an appearance. And it's great to see you. Glad that you're here. Hunter Haas, good to see you as well. I am working solidly on getting better. I promise. Gary Meek says, if you legalize it, it takes away the financial motivation for the cartels to produce it and push it on kids. At least it seems that way. I know it's a super complex issue. No, it seems to make a lot of sense. It really does. If you remove the black market issue of all of these things, then all of a sudden the profit margins go away. And when the profit margins go away, then people aren't willing to kill for it, right? And that's legit. It is. The trouble becomes who the hell regulates it, right? Because you can say tomorrow, okay, it's legal. Does that mean it's legal to possess? Does that mean it's legal to grow? Because you still have to buy it from somebody. So is the person selling it breaking law? Are they allowed to sell it? And if they are allowed to sell it, who makes sure that it's not poison? Do we now have a Food and Drug Administration that has to cover cocaine, heroin, ecstasy, PCP, and all of the other drugs? And PCP is pretty heavy, right? Guys smoke that stuff and jump out of windows or cut off their own genitalia or do these crazy things. So PCP, I think we could probably all agree, maybe shouldn't be legal, right? So if we can agree that PCP is a drug that probably oughtn't be legal, then there are drugs that shouldn't be legal. Yes? Okay. So now who decides which ones can be and can't be? Because PCP, we don't want that one, right? But do we want, it gets very, very, it gets really dicey. And we haven't seen the government do a particularly good job in anything, right? FedEx will guarantee that they will get a package tomorrow, anywhere in the United States, right? Within 24 hours. And they turn a profit, right? Every single quarter. The government does the exact same thing. They call it the post office and they lose $5 billion a year. So it gives you an idea what happens when we allow the government to get involved in things that shouldn't be all that freaking tough. So to allow them to determine what drugs we can put in our body, how much we can put in our body, who can put it there, where it can be sold, who it can be regulated by. See, the trouble with the whole legalization thing is this. We can't win the war on drugs, but we can fund the ever-loving crap out of it, right? Nobody wants to lose that fight them. Outside of the military, the second largest budget in the United States is on the war on drugs. So if tomorrow we said no more war on drugs, holy hell do we save a lot of money, right? But all those people that have been getting to spend all that money since Nixon are going to be pissed, right? And all of those people who have jobs, whose jobs it is to try to make sure you're not getting high, all those people are going to need to go find work, right? Dana Carvey's son just died of an overdose. It looks like fentanyl, says Jeremy. The word is preliminary toxicology. The results are saying that it was fentanyl, which is horrible. Dana Carvey, if you don't know, was a comedian that was very popular in the 80s on Saturday Night Live. Very, very super talented guy. And my heart goes out to he and his family. And you know what, people? It's every day. How many Dana Carveys yesterday got that word, right? I mean, we know who he is, but hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other families got that same phone call yesterday. And this is the world that we live in, right? What can we do? What can we do about the demand? Well, we can keep our kids from getting high. We can keep our kids from overdosing and dying. We can talk to the people that we love, right? And sometimes that's hard. It's difficult to have conversations like this with people that you love is a hard thing to do because it's an unpleasant conversation. And the people that you love aren't going to want to hear this. They're not. But it's the most important conversation you might ever have. And you say, oh man, it is so uncomfortable, Tommy. You know what's more uncomfortable? And I can tell you from experience, what's more uncomfortable is when you get the phone call that says they overdosed and you think to yourself, I swear to God, in my day planner, it says, talk to so-and-so about drugs, right? That's worse. I promise you that's more uncomfortable. And the uncomfortable of talking to somebody that you care about drugs, about overdosing, and about all of those things, that discomfort will go away, right? Within 10 or 15 minutes of talking to them, that discomfort will go away. The discomfort of thinking to yourself, I wonder what would have happened if I talked to them. You know, I got one of those that's 3 years old, hasn't gone away yet. I don't know if it ever will. I would recommend talking to everybody. You know, every single day, I kid you not, I get 12, 2 dozen, whatever emails every day saying, I love what you're doing. It's just, I wish I could do something. I wish there's something I could do. Talk to people. Run your mouth, right? Run your mouth. Talk to people. Tell them that the drugs on the street today are killing people, that they're not there to get you high. They're there to kill you. Whether that makes sense to you or not, you just got to take my word for it. 2 milligrams of fentanyl will kill you. Then why are they putting more than 2 milligrams of fentanyl in pills? Because they are. Well, they're just not very good at it. Well, maybe. Maybe they suck that bad at it, right? I personally, if I had a guy who consistently called me at 8 a.m. and at 3 p.m., 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and that's how it works. And at both of those times, he said something along the lines, I got $50, I got $100, whatever the case may be. I don't want him to die. I don't want him to die. I want him to continue to call me and hand me money 14 times a week, 52 weeks a year. That's what I want. Why would I want him dead? They seem to want to kill a lot of those people, which doesn't make sense. But the best that we can hope for is to continue to talk to people and do what we can. It's the best we can hope for. And you know what? It's hard because a lot of the times, these people that we need to talk to, we may not be in the best situation with. Maybe we're not getting along. People who are on drugs very often fight with the people that they love, the people that they care about the most, they fight with. And that's hard. So if you have to overcome that, if you have to jump outside your comfort zone and talk to somebody because deep down you love them, but you haven't talked to them in a while, or there's been something holding that up, get over it. Make that call today. Make that call today. It's, you know, break through that discomfort because it's that friggin' important. You don't know. You lost that person. If you woke up tomorrow and found out that that person was gone, how would you feel? You'd feel like you wish you made that call today. Right? I'm not trying to be Billy Buzzkill. I'm really not. But please do yourself a favor. And if there's somebody out there that you love that you haven't reached out to, and this is your opportunity today, reach out to them. Tell them that you love them, right? Tell them you love them. Tell them you're sorry. Tell them whatever. Have the conversation. Have the conversation, right? Those 400,000 pills that got caught, that's 20%. According to our government, they catch 20%. So 80% got through. 400,000 got caught. There's a lot of pills out there right now. Some of them are going to kill people today. Today. 300 people who wake up this morning, somewhere between 300 and 400 people who woke up this morning are not going to wake up tomorrow morning because of this crap. What can we do on our side? We can talk to every single person who will listen. You can write to congressmen. Anybody that will listen, right? That's it. Anybody that'll listen. And for the love of God, if you love these people, if they're in your family, if they're people you care about, God, don't make the mistake of not talking to these people. Talk to them, right? And do it now. Do it now. Do it often. Be annoying, right? Blame it on me. If you can't, bring them over here, all right? Do it. I talk to those I love. You should be talking to those you love. This is important stuff, people. It really is. It's important stuff. And for those of you who really, thank you very much, Fancy Face. Appreciate that. And for those of you who like seeing me hurt, tomorrow there will be a speed run. Tuba Terror. Haven't done one of those in 2 years. And I hopefully, honestly, hopefully I'd like to beat the world record. I don't know that that's possible. On the bright side, if I don't, still my record. And Johnny will no doubt win the competition in that this isn't going to hurt him. Oh my gosh. Dixie, I'm so sorry. Dixie 504 says, lost one little brother 12 years ago and the other 11 years ago. Making sure they always know you love them is everything. Eternally grateful they both knew that I did. Thank God, right? Thank God that they knew that. Everybody. You know what? If there's somebody in your life that you love, and there's a reason that you haven't been telling them, right? Mom, dad, sister, brother, whatever. If there's somebody out there that you're fighting with, that you're not getting along with, that you haven't reached out to, and there's just something petty or there's something stupid or there's something massive, but you love that person, reach out to them today. Don't let another day go by. You don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. You don't know what today's going to bring, right? Reach out to that person and tell them you love them. What do you think? Wouldn't be such a bad thing, would it? Please. You will, someday you might thank me later, right? All right, people, we will see you tomorrow. No, I will see you tonight. If my memory serves me right, we do a show at 5 o'clock, right? So I will see you tonight at 5 o'clock. Thank you, people, for for your patience while I've been working on me. Haley, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's very kind. It really is, Haley. Thank you. But I appreciate all of the efforts from. You know what, V? I'm going to reach out and tell somebody today that I love them, and they're not going to respond back. They're not going to tell me anything, but I'm going to do it anyway. You know, it's the right thing to do, right? It's the right thing to do. So may not work. That's kind of how it works, but it will be better, right? It'll be better than not trying. So. I suspect he's using something. Any guesses? Speech slow and slurred, appears to vomit a small amount, frequently has something stuck in his cheek. Goosebumps. I'm not sure what you're referring to. I don't. A YouTuber using any guesses. I'm gonna do everything I can to not guess. There are a lot of people who use people. It is what it is. It's sad, and you know what? Say a prayer for him. Say a prayer for him. Reach out to him. Tell that person we love everything we could to help him. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's a addiction. Addiction's ugly, people. It really is, right? So let's pull for him, huh? Let's pull for him. All right, everyone. Have a fantastic day, and hopefully we'll see you all on the other side. All right, Captain Tommy Scobo. See you.